Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and I was going to share a couple more student live trades with you that they've sent me. It's going to be a short week since I'm going to be out for my surgery tomorrow, so I thought I would do this this morning quickly, just so we had a little more stuff to study and a little more to learn from while I'm out the rest of the week. But this is a live trade a student sent me. It's a second entry long. You can see the new high, first entry, and then it's going to set up a second entry. But I'm going to let it play and we'll discuss it as we go along. As you can see, he waited to the bar close, and I think that's bullish enough that closes in the upper one third. So I think he's good there if he gets a trigger. Now, normally you might be concerned if we weren't back to the trend line, but there's a secondary trend line working up through here, and I think he has it on there. He just didn't extend it on. So I would have been good with this trade. I'm pretty sure I probably marked it on the daily as a good second entry long off a secondary trend line. So, but I like the trade. It takes it a minute to play out here, but you could also look at this as sideways, and you had a failed break out the top, now failed break out the bottom. But you can't deny it's two legs back to the EMA. So, and that's what he's looking at here. So. Looks like he's just trying to scalp out here. He's not looking for a runner either. He went in with three and is going to exit with three. I remember this day because I remember this. I was concerned why we weren't getting back to the trend line here. And if you get to looking, there's another secondary channel working up. There was a spiking channel early, but but it was inside this larger channel at the end of the day. So you might have only been playing the spiking channel at this point. I can't remember exactly when it became. I think this was already confirmed too, so I can't remember. He takes a little heat on his trade, but it's not much. Just a little slow in developing. And it's probably for the very reason that some people there's a lot of people unclear what's going on here, and that's normally when if you don't understand what's going on, you usually don't take a trade. And we're obviously in a big uptrend here, so and that's what I'm always trying to explain to people. If you just trade with a trend, you increase your odds exponentially because you can make little small mistakes and still survive the trade and still get a winner. But if you're counter trend trading and you make a mistake, you're usually punished pretty quickly and you realize, hey, that was a dumb mistake. But people keep doing it over and over because if you do catch one, they're usually quick, easy, and big moves. And so people keep going back to them, but you'll win just enough to keep you trying it over and over, and it's just a losing strategy. So always try to trade with the trend. And if you stay with the trend, you'll be much better off. This one continues to just kind of chop sideways, but it's trying to go higher. It's struggling. It can't. It's trying to go lower, but it can't. And the buying comes back in, and you'll watch them. Eventually, it'll take on off here. I can't remember if we make a new high here or not. I think it works its way back over to the trend line and then takes off. It's just been a few days, so I can't remember. There it goes. Once it took off, it shot up pretty quickly. So you can see, nice trade. I like that trade. I'm pretty sure I marked that trade. There is another trend line there that it's working off of. So good trade there. I got a couple more here I'm going to play for you as well from a different trader. Now this, notice he had a first entry, second entry, and then he had a higher low with another nice signal bar. And I don't know if he took the first entry or not, or the second entry or not, but he definitely took the higher low, and we are working off the low of some support here, and he does have room back to the resistance. So I think you'd be okay. I don't know that I would be counting second entries in here. I can't really see his bigger picture. We could have been in a big downtrend at the end of this. I'm not sure. So in that case, prices may be trying to reverse here. But just be careful when you can see anytime the EMA is sideways like that and prices are above and below, you're in a range. That might just be a temporary range, but use the EMA to help you. You can see over here prices are mostly below the EMA, and so you're in a downtrend. You can see part of his downtrend channel. But here we start swinging back and forth well above and below on both sides, and you can see how flat the EMA goes. Use that to your advantage to help you determine if you're moving sideways or if you're trending. So if you're trending up, most of your price action will be above the EMA. You might push temporarily right into it or just below it a few times here and there, but most of your price action is going to be above it and pulling back to touch it on corrections. So unless it's really strong, and it may not pull back but just to the trend line, and it may not be at the EMA, it may be too strong for that. But be careful with those as well, because those strong momentums don't always last forever. They only have a limited life, and then they come back to reality. Traders come back to reality. But here he's trading high or low, and we're just coming off the lows, and there's plenty of room to the high, so I think he's good with this trade. I like this trade. Let's just watch it play out. And people are always asking me, you know, they can't, they're so concerned about risk reward, but we're only trying to get 4 ticks. In this case, this trader went for 8 ticks. You know, personally, I'm only going to go for 4, and I would use a runner to try to get the other 4, and that would have worked fine for him here. You won't always get those 8 ticks, so just be careful trying to do that. But you know, I'm not going to tell somebody that not to try to go for 8 ticks, because some people might want to use our strategy to try to get into swing trades. And you can do that. Just understand you're going to have more losses, and if you are going to swing trade, you got to get some big swings. You got to make some money when it does take off, because you're going to have a lot more losers. But if you're just going for 4 ticks, the size of your signal bar, where you put your stop, is much more important than the size of the signal bar. And what I try to tell people is when the volatility is high and these bars are bigger like this, it's easier to get 4 ticks. It makes it easier, because notice if you enter here, prices only have to probably move to about right here to get 4 ticks. Let's just look. 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe to the height of that bar right there before they go all the way down here and break an important support area. So the odds are on your side that you're going to get that 4 ticks before, unless your read is completely off. If your read is off, nothing's going to save you. So yeah, if you're a losing trader and you're losing money every day, then yes, risk reward is important. But if you understand what we're doing and you can read this chart, where you put your stop is 10 times more important than how big it is. And we don't worry too much about how big it is, because we're going to get it right 9 out of 10 times. And when you do get it wrong, and the other thing is you got to account for runners. If you can't trade runners yet, if you're 3 or less, I say just scalp out. But when you can start to trade runners, 1 or 2 runners might wipe out all your losses, and then plus some more profits. It doesn't take but 1 good runner to wipe out a lot of losses, a lot. And you know, if you get a 20-point runner, then you're going to wipe out a lot of losses, and you can get some of those easily sometimes. I mean, if you caught this trade here, you could easily get, I don't know, let's just look. This was, I'm not even saying this is a good trade. I'm just showing the example of a move here. This move looks like it was from about 57 to 65. So, you know, there's 8 points there. And if you can get 5 or 6 of those on a runner, after you've already had a winner locked into the bank, then you wipe out some of your hopefully you wipe out your 10% losses. If you're not quite there, maybe you wipe out your 15 or 20% losses. So just keep that in mind. But yes, another nice trade there. I like this one. And there's one more here I want to show you. Okay, here's the other trade. And he entered this as a second entry. I don't like this entry here. You can see we're in this sideways. I think this is the other one he entered on, and you can see prices did continue higher, and he never would have gotten stopped out on this one. I think this was it. I'm not even sure that's it. Maybe it was over here. Yeah, I think it was here. But you can see we're just working sideways. But anyway, he's entering near the top of the range now, and he's entering on by the counts, that's a second entry. But this is not a leg down. This is sideways, and then you get one leg down right here. So to me, that's a first entry. It still works, and that's great. But I would not take that trade. I would wait on a second entry or a reversal there or something different, because I just think you're entering too early there. Let's back this back up where we can see it again. But yeah, I think you're too early here. I think you need to wait on the true second entry, or even then I probably wouldn't enter this because you're too close to all this. Look at all this resistance across here. Now from here, there is room to scalp out. I give him credit on that. But still, when you're trading a range, the idea is to look for shorts up here and longs down here. And if you're trying to get long near the highs or get short near the lows, you're going to get burned. Eventually, you're going to get burned. So, just like right here, there's a second entry short. Assuming that was a good signal bar and you try to go short there, well, you probably got burned because we just came off the lows, we're headed to the highs. Here we just came off the highs, so we're probably headed to the lows. We could continue higher. I don't know what happens here. I don't see the rest of the chart, but I'm glad this one worked out. But I do not like that trade I would count that as a first entry. Now, if it comes back here and bounces off and gives you a nice signal bar, maybe, but still, because the EMA is so flat and we're so close to resistance, I probably would not take that trade. So anyway, hope you enjoyed these 3 trades. Hope you learned something from them. I'm trying to do more of these. People tend to like them, and you can learn from them. I agree. It's great to see other students doing this and having success. And some of these traders are having some real success. And this trader here has had some really good success. Again, I don't like this particular trade. But I explained why, and hopefully he'll learn from that as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great trading day. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.